Hey guys, so in this video I'll be teaching you how to add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. We're going to jump in with adding and subtracting and start with an example. So when you're adding polynomials, here we've got our first polynomial, 6x cubed plus 4x plus x squared minus 7. And we're going to add that to 2x cubed minus 8x squared plus 3. When you're adding, you can basically ignore the parentheses. If you like, you could rewrite it without the parentheses, but what you can really do is just combine like terms. So we have a 6x cubed, and we're going to add that to 2x cubed. So you have 8x cubed. And the reason I'm starting with x cubed is because remember, when you're writing in standard form, you want to go in descending order starting with the highest degree. So then we have an x squared and we have a negative 8x squared. So 1 plus negative 8x squared is going to be negative 7x squared. Then I've got 4x, and there's no other there's no other single degree polynomial terms, so we just got 4x. And then finally we can do negative 7 plus 3, and we get negative 4. And so that is our final answer, 8x cubed minus 7x squared plus 4x minus 4. With subtracting, you have to be more careful. This negative does not just apply to this first term, but needs to get distributed to each term. So we should start by rewriting our polynomial. So we have 3x squared y squared plus 2x y squared plus 6x squared. And then we're going to distribute. So we have negative 2x squared y squared minus 3x y squared plus 2x squared. Now at this point, we can just combine our like terms. So first one, we got a 3x squared y squared. Here I've got an x squared y squared. So I can combine these two. So 3 minus 2, we're left with x squared y squared. I got xy squared here and another xy squared here. So we can combine those. 2 minus 3 will be negative 1 xy squared. And then last, we got 6x squared and a 2x squared. So combine those and we get 8x squared. And that's going to be our final answer. So what I'd like you guys to do next is try it on your own or with your group mates, and I would pause the video at this time. So hopefully you pause the video and attempt this on your own. When you're adding these two, you should end up with a polynomial 4a to the fourth minus a cubed plus 4a squared plus 3a minus 1. And then when you subtract, you need to distribute the negative, and this one's a little bit trickier because you don't just have regular coefficients, you also have a's and b's and they're both squared. So I highlighted to try to help you see what to combine. And when you finish combining, you should end up with negative a squared b squared minus 4ab squared plus 4a squared b. So now we're going to move on to multiplying. Multiplying isn't that bad either. It just requires a little bit of work. So for example 1, we have 2m plus 5 times 3m squared minus 4m plus 2. So all we're going to do is distribute. And because we've got 2 terms and then another 3 terms, we're going to double distribute. So first we're going to start by doing 2m times 3m squared to get 6m cubed. And then we'll do 2m times negative 4m to get negative 8m squared. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we have our m. Then we need to distribute the 5. So we have 5 times 3, which is 15m squared. Then we have 5 times negative 4m, which is negative 20m. And 5 times 2, which is 10. And now all we're going to do is combine like terms. So 6m cubed, and we have an m squared, and another m squared, so negative 8 plus 15. It's going to be positive 7m squared. Then we have 4m minus 20m, which would be negative 16m. And then we just bring down our positive 10, and this is our new polynomial. Sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult if we have more polynomials that we're multiplying together. What we have to do in this case is just multiply these two first. So mn times mn will be m squared n squared. Mn times negative 2 will be negative 2mn. 1 times mn, positive mn. And 1 times negative 2, it's just negative 2. And then we just bring down our mn plus 4. Still being multiplied. Now one thing that's going to help is if we combine like terms. So let's do that. So m squared, n squared, and then negative 2mn plus mn will be negative 1mn. Now we're going to distribute again. So we have m squared, n squared times mn, which will give us m cubed, n cubed. Multiply by 4, we get 4m squared, n squared. Negative mn times mn will be negative m squared, n squared. And then we'll multiply that by 4 for negative 4mn. And then finally the 2, so 2 times mn, sorry, negative 2mn. And then negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8. Now we can just combine like terms. So we're going to have m cubed, n cubed. And then we've got an m squared, n squared, and an m squared, n squared. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So we're going to have 3m squared, n squared. Then we have mn's that are like terms. So negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6mn. And then we just bring down our negative 8. And this is our final polynomial. So now we're going to do one more you try. I'd like you guys to try multiplying 6n squared minus 7 times n squared plus n plus 3, and then this mn fiasco afterwards. I'd pause the video at this time. Alright, so looking at letter A, when you distribute your 6n's and your negative 7 and combine like terms, your final polynomial should be 6n to the 4th plus 6n cubed plus 11n squared minus 7n minus 21. B is a little bit more intense, so you first need to combine the mn plus 1 times the m squared n minus 1, and you should get m cubed n squared minus mn plus m squared n minus 1. So that's this. And then you need to distribute each one, and you get this mess. So then what I've done down here is I just attempted to write it in standard form, which is kind of hard to do. So I descended my fort with my m's first. And then when there were two of the same, so like here I had an m cubed and an m cubed, I based it off the n. For these problems, I probably won't be like too picky, but you should write it in a relative order, definitely ending with the 2mn and the minus 2.